Our only task is to assess whether the deprivation decision was unlawful. We have concluded it was not, and the appeal is dismissed.
If you fall under this group of people, know that you won't get citizenship in the UK, and if you already had citizenship, it will be revoked immediately. Your British citizenship and passport. You think it's your right, your permanent shield, your irrevocable ticket to a life in the United Kingdom. You are wrong. Dangerously wrong. We are issuing a stark, urgent warning. If you fall into a specific group of people, the UK government has the power to declare that your citizenship is, and always was, a temporary privilege. Know this: you may not get citizenship in the UK, and if you already have it, it can be snatched away in an instant, leaving you stranded and stateless. We don't need to talk about how one wrong move, one lie from your past, or one trip back to your home country could result in the immediate revocation of your British citizenship. Many people have already fallen into this trap. And if you are one of them, or are engaging in these activities now, you may no longer be considered a British citizen, wherever you are in the world right now. Stay with Visa News Daily, because what you are about to hear could be the most important information you ever receive about your life in the UK. And if you've not already, make sure you are subscribed to Visa News Daily for important updates on UK immigration, citizenship, ILR, PR, and more on UK's immigration. Let's start with the case that has shaken the very foundation of what British citizenship means. Shamima Begum, you know the name. A Muslim lady born and raised in East London who travelled to Syria as a 15-year-old schoolgirl to join the Islamic State group. The Home Secretary made a decision that echoed across the globe. He revoked her British citizenship on national security grounds.
Who travelled to Syria as a schoolgirl to join Islamic State lost her latest appeal on Friday over the removal of her citizenship. The UK government stripped Shamima Begum of her citizenship on grounds of national security in 2019, not long after she was found in a detention camp in northeastern Syria. Begum, who is now 24, argues the decision was unlawful, in part because British officials failed to properly consider whether she was a victim of trafficking. That argument was rejected by a lower court in February 2023, and the Court of Appeal in London has now rejected her most recent appeal. Here's Judge Sue Carr.
It could be argued that the decision in Miss Begum's case was harsh. It could also be argued that Miss Begum is the author of her own misfortune. But it is not for this court to agree or disagree with either point of view. Our only task is to assess whether the deprivation decision was unlawful. We have concluded it was not, and the appeal is dismissed.
The British government welcomed the ruling. Begum's lawyers have repeatedly called on the UK to repatriate her and others who remain in Syria, describing the refusal to do so as disgraceful. Gareth Pearce said that every other country has taken their nationals back and that the UK now stands, quote, virtually alone. Another of Begum's lawyers said they would not stop fighting until she does get justice and is safely back home. Britain has repatriated 17 individuals since 2019 as of December, according to human rights organisation Rights and Security International.
For years, Begum has been fighting this decision through the courts. Her lawyers have argued she was a child, a victim of trafficking who was groomed online and smuggled into Syria by a Canadian intelligence agent working for ISIS. They argued the government failed in its duty to protect her. But after years of legal challenges, the UK's Court of Appeal delivered a crushing blow in February 2024. They dismissed her appeal. The judges acknowledged that the decision could be seen as harsh, but also stated that it could be argued Begum is the author of her own misfortune. Their only task, they said, was to determine if the decision was unlawful, and they concluded it was not. The fight didn't end there. Her legal team vowed to keep fighting, but in August 2024, her hopes were dashed again when the UK Supreme Court refused to even hear her appeal, stating it did not raise arguable point of law. This means she must remain in a detention camp in Syria, effectively stateless, with no right to ever return to the UK. Her lawyers now plan to take the case to the European Court of Human Rights, but as it stands, her connection to Britain has been legally severed. So why am I bringing this up? Because the principles used to banish Shamima Begum are not confined to her. They are part of a wide and growing set of powers the government is using more and more. This is where you need to pay very close attention. Most people living here in the United Kingdom travel for holidays back to their home country. Some think that because they have that British passport, it's an unbreakable bond. Others go back home and, let's be blunt, do funny things. They get involved in activities they would never dare to in the UK. They believe what happens there stays there. This is a catastrophic miscalculation. The power to strip you of your citizenship is enshrined in UK law, and it has been expanding. The primary law is Section 40 of the British Nationality Act, 1981. This power was dramatically widened by the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, which for the first time allowed the government to strip citizenship from people born in the UK who hold dual nationality. The powers were extended again by the Immigration Act 2014 and, most chillingly, by the Nationality and Borders Act 2022. There are two main reasons you can lose your citizenship, and the first one is what caught Shamima Begum. The Home Secretary can revoke your citizenship if it is deemed conducive to the public good. This is a broad term, but it is most often used in cases related to national security. This includes terrorism. This is the most obvious one. Any involvement, support, or even glorification of terrorist activities can put you in the firing line. Espionage, spying for a foreign power, serious organized crime, involvement in drug trafficking, human trafficking, or other major criminal enterprises, war crimes, or crimes against humanity. Asterisk, hostile state activity. Asterisk, working to undermine the UK's interests on behalf of another country. Now, there's a crucial catch. The law states that the government cannot use this power if it makes the person stateless. So, how did they do it to Shamima Begum, who was born in the UK? The government successfully argued that because her parents were of Bangladeshi origin, she was eligible for Bangladeshi citizenship at the time her UK citizenship was revoked. It didn't matter that Bangladesh stated there was no question of her being allowed into the country. The theoretical possibility was enough. This creates a terrifying reality for millions of British citizens with foreign heritage. A 2021 analysis suggested that nearly 6 million people in England and Wales could be eligible to be stripped of their citizenship because they could potentially claim nationality elsewhere through their parents or grandparents. This creates a two-tier system of citizenship, where naturalized citizens and those with immigrant parents have fewer rights than those without a connection to another country. And the law has become even more draconian. The Nationality and Borders Act 2022 gives the Home Office the power to revoke your citizenship without telling you. They can do this if it's not reasonably practicable to give you notice, or if it's in the interest of national security or diplomatic relations. Imagine finding out your passport is invalid only when you try to re-enter the country you call home. This isn't just a theoretical threat. While the government doesn't publish these figures regularly, research has pieced together the numbers. Since 2010, there have been at least 222 deprivation orders on public good grounds. Between 2006 and 2020, the numbers fluctuated, peaking at 148 revocations in a single year in 2017. But it's not just about national security. There is another, far more common reason people are losing their citizenship, and it has nothing to do with terrorism. Your citizenship can be revoked if it was obtained through deceit. This is where thousands of people are unknowingly at risk. This includes any instance where you have provided false information or forged documents during any stage of your immigration journey, concealed material facts, like a criminal record you didn't declare, or your true marital status. Used a false identity. Unlike the public good rule, the law is much harsher here. The government is allowed to revoke citizenship on grounds of fraud, even if it renders a naturalized citizen completely stateless. Let me give you a real-world example. The case of the man identified as Ahmed. He came to the UK, secured indefinite leave to remain, and eventually citizenship. His entire claim was built on a lie. He had falsely claimed to be divorced from his wife back in Pakistan and used a relationship with an EEA national to secure his status. For years, he lived as a British citizen. But the past has a long shadow. The deception was only uncovered years later when he tried to sponsor his wife and children to join him in the UK, revealing he had used forged divorce documents and lied about his marriage. In 2019, his citizenship was revoked. He appealed, but the courts upheld the decision, stating he had dishonestly concealed the true nature of his relationship. His wife in the UK was erased because of a lie told years before. This is not an isolated incident. The government have been actively pursuing these cases. Since 2010, there have been at least 858 citizenship deprivation orders for fraud. Many of these cases involve people who lied about their nationality when claiming asylum years ago, such as Albanians who pretended to be from Kosovo in the late 1990s, only for the deception to be uncovered decades later. Let me be absolutely clear. If at any point in your journey to becoming a British citizen, from your very first visa application to your naturalization ceremony, you lied, you concealed, or you deceived, you are sitting on a ticking time bomb. It doesn't matter if it was 5, 10, or 20 years ago. As the Ahmed case proves, the Home Office can and will act on new information, no matter how much time has passed. So, what does this mean for you? It means your citizenship is conditional. It is conditional on your good conduct, and it is conditional on the truthfulness of the information you provided to obtain it. That holiday you take back home? If you get involved in serious criminal activity or actions that could be deemed a threat to the UK, you risk being barred from returning. Your passport can be cancelled while you are abroad. That little white lie on your application form from a decade ago? If it's discovered, it could unravel your entire life here. The government's power is immense. While there is a right to appeal a revocation decision to the first-tier tribunal or the Special Immigration Appeals Commission (SIAC) for national security cases, the battle is uphill, expensive, and emotionally devastating. In the case of Shamima Begum, the courts have shown they are reluctant to interfere with the Home Secretary's decisions on national security matters. This is the new reality of British citizenship in the 21st century. The rules have changed, the powers have expanded, and the consequences are severe. This is not to scare you without reason. This is to educate you, to warn you. Your British passport is not a shield. For some, it is a fragile contract that can be torn up at any moment. If you fall under the categories we've discussed today, if you are hiding a secret from your immigration past, or if you are considering activities that could be deemed not conducive to the public good, I'll leave you with this final, chilling thought. Just know that your citizenship can and will be revoked.